So that wasn't. So I'm going to pose the question to you. So Josh and I, we wanted to have our lunch, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? And so in Oregon, no service. Even our modem is glitchy. And so we were going to pull over in this one spot there, but there was this rental, smaller RV, what is it, B-Class?
Yeah, like B-Class?
Class B motorhome. It was parked in kind of a long, kind of like pull-off, but it's on the opposite side of the freeway. And we're like, we thought about stopping there, but we're like, no, because then, we want to have space to pull out, and we want them to have their space and all that stuff. So we drove on, and we found actually it was smaller, and it was also on the opposite side of the road. Unbeknownst to us, we drove a little bit further, and we found a big one on our side. But anyway, so we're there, we're making lunch. The people that were at the previous one pull into where we are, pull in front of us, so it leaves us less clearance to get out, where we can't even see who's coming on that side of the freeway until you pull way out, and then to see who's coming behind us. It was very, very, very strange, right? So they did that. We know it's rental. They're probably new to RVing, right? So, okay, so they did that, and we're like, okay, kind of not comfortable, but we're just going to do our thing.
RV etiquette is you don't block somebody's path when they're parked. You don't park in front of them, because RVs are hard to maneuver, especially when you're towing a long trailer. If somebody's parked, you just give them space. If you want to park in the same area, you park behind them so that they can pull out easily.
So you heard it. Okay, so then we're just like, wouldn't it be true if someone else, like, because we can be blocked on both sides. Someone comes walking up to the door. We're in the middle of nowhere.
You hear footsteps.
We hear footsteps, and then we hear that. Michael comes right up to the door. Michael? Josh is like, no. He's like, no, very sternly. Oh, okay. And then keeps walking, and they might have said the same thing to the next person. So we're like, what the heck? I was like, I'm making excuses. I'm like, maybe they called because they had problems with their RV, and they needed service, and then they drove out to help them. Maybe that's it.
Because they were wearing like a reflective vest.
Yeah.
So it looked like they could have been a service person.
Yeah. So, Josh looks, but there's no vehicle behind us. We're like, how did that person get there? Because I did not see anybody walking on the road before that, because we would have seen them not too long before we pulled off if they were on the road.
Right.
Bright vest on.
Yeah.
Okay? So, we're like, okay, so we were going to kick it for a minute, but we're just like, you know what, let's just get out of here.
Sorry, she's making a long story longer.
So we're going to kick it for a minute. I got to explain, right? So we decided to leave. And so we slowly inched our way. We got out of there. Then we see that person that came up to Eartha walking on the side of the road. So we were talking about scenarios. What would you do? What would you do if that happened? What?
Something ran in front of the truck.
I missed it because of the phone. So we're like, what would you do? And like, because people do worry about safety, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere.
No phone service.
No phone service. We're driving an Airstream. So it's like, it's kind of a target. We feel like Josh is saying. So we wanted, with the safety issue, it's like, if somebody came up and they like tried to rob us, what would we do? And and I agree with Josh that our frame of mind is, when you give in, then, and you let them do, then they're in control. If they pulled out a gun or something, it's like you're giving control to them. So
it usually doesn't end well.
What would you do? I want to know. What would you do? I want you to comment below and tell me, I would do this. Would you just hand over your things and hope that they don't go any further? Or would you say pretend you're going to do it and then disarm them? Or if you're going to be like fighting from the very beginning and just like, no way, you can't have my stuff. You can't have my shit. You can't have my shit. You can't. So I want to know, what would you do? Please comment below. Bye.